Good afternoon. If you join me live on here, please make sure to say hello below. So what's with this outsourcing thing, right? Outsourcing and delegating, some of the two best ways to regain your time. But I know what you're thinking. I don't have the funds. What do I do now? So today I'm going to be focusing a lot on how this looks in your home. But you can also apply it to work, and you can apply it to your business. You can apply it to any area of your life where you're feeling overloaded and you'd really like some more help, but you're not quite ready to pay for it yet. But if you don't know me, my name is Anna DeSalvo, and I help even the busiest working moms get ish done so they can show up for work and still be the mom they want to be. So, outsourcing, am I right? Before we get into the how, I kind of want to tell you what's what. So delegating and outsourcing aren't just for paid services. In fact, there's basically 4 tiers of delegation, and 3 of which don't have anything to do with being paid. Let me show you my little diagram that I sketched for you today. You've got your fam, your team, your systems and routines, your free and low-cost services, and then on the very outside, you have your paid services. Now, most time management gurus are going to sit and they're going to tell you, hey, outsource that ish. And I'm going to tell you the same thing too. But usually we start to think of, how are we going to pay for it? How are we going to pay for it? And let me tell you a little story. In the beginning, when we started this journey and I wanted to offload more time, I actually wanted to quit my job. And I was like, I'm going to go quit my job. And this is way before I have the current job that I have now. And my husband was like, well, we kind of need you to work. And then I was like, okay, so then we're going to pay for a housekeeper. And he's like, well, we kind of need to figure out how to pay for it. So before we could even get to the stage that we were ready to pay for services, I had to start at the very basic level. And that is in the very small circle in the middle, which is your family or your team, okay? And your family is your team. So first, you need to start with a family and chore chart if you don't have one. Now, I have a post on my blog, annadesalvo.com, that goes over the how in more detail. But your family is your first delegation tool, okay? They are your team. And while maybe it doesn't feel like it right now, you can cultivate that relationship by doing one simple activity, including listing everything out, including the monthly bills, and kind of thinking about what would be the best things and even giving your kids and your partner some ideas. Don't forget to include the monthly bills because that is something that, somebody has to be responsible for. And it's also a great bargaining tool when you are delegating some of the stuff to your kids. Number 2. Okay, so the first tier was your family and your team. You start there, you develop your chore chart. I have a post, you can see it in the post above on my blog that goes over in detail how to do that. Number 2. Systems and routines, okay? So your second tier is going to be your systems and routines. Your systems are your written plans for how ish gets done. That's your meal planning. That's your laundry, okay? And then you have your routines, which are your lunch packing, your putting your clothes out. And why do these matter? Because, girl, you got decision fatigue. And when you have those, it's very, very difficult to not only think rationally, but not lose your ish. So you want to make sure you're streamlining a lot of those daily routines as well. If you're looking for a system on how to streamline your dinner so you aren't spending time on the what's for dinner equation, or you're spending too much money on grocery shopping because you're going when you're hungry, grab my Feed the Fam course, and I will put the details for that below as well. Now, your next tier is your free or your low-cost services. So, like if you're already an Amazon Prime member, like who is not an Amazon Prime member? If you're not an Amazon Prime member, I want to hear from you below because I would love to know why you are not an Amazon Prime member. But your free and your low-cost services are things like subscribe and save. You can do that on Amazon, right? If you have a pet, you can use petco.com, and they have a recurring delivery service that actually saves you money because you get a 20% off. A lot of these things are already out there, subscribe and save features. And so make sure that you are utilizing them to their fullest potential. I just saw a wow emoji out there. I would love to hear from you what you are wowed by, besides my hair, because it looks fabulous. So another thing you can use is making sure that you are using grocery pickup. Now, this is a free or low-cost service. Walmart has it for free, and then Friend Mail ClickList has it for a low-cost fee. And honestly, you're probably going to make up that money anyway because you're not going into the grocery store hungry. You also can set small reminders. Now, you might not think of this as delegation, but set small reminders, things you don't want to remember but are recurring on your Alexa or your phone. So things like feed the dog, things like take out the garbage. Again, these are delegation tools because you are no longer thinking about having to do these things. And guess what? So much easier to offload that task onto somebody else when you have it as a reminder. Oh, hey, can you take care of that real quick? I know the Alexa went off. I mean, or you could just disappear into the other room when you know it's going to go off, but that might be a little passive aggressive. I'm just saying. So how do you know what to outsource first? Okay, so we went over the tiers of delegation. There is the family and chore chart. If you don't know how to do that, AnnaDesalvo.com. Systems and routines. So again, how do you meal plan every week? The same way. How do you do laundry the week? The same way. And then also your routines, which are things like packing your lunch, picking out your clothes to avoid decision fatigue. And then your last tier, at least of the low cost and free services, are those subscribe and save and automation services that don't cost a lot of money and will save you that extra time. Then, of course, there's the fourth tier, which is paid services like housekeeping and your yard care. However, we're not there yet. We'll talk about that another time. So how do you know what to outsource first? I want you to think about starting basic, okay? Because it's going to be kind of overwhelming. Think about all the tasks in the day that you don't have to do. And by what I mean by like you don't have to do, like you physically do not have to be there. Like you cannot outsource going to the bathroom. You can, however, outsource who does the laundry. And it's not the tasks that you get irritated with how your partner does it, like folding the towels. Okay. It is things that you physically cannot do. And just start by writing them all out and then start thinking about and brainstorming who and what will take over. So who in your family or chore chart and what in terms of a system or routine. I understand that the idea of outsourcing things is a little bit scary. Like, you can do it, but the thing is you actually want the time to have more time for your goals. If you want to actually feel like you are a present person when you show up at the end of the evening, if you want to feel like you have a life of ease and it's not out of control and cray, these are the things to implement in order to get you there. And it doesn't cost anything or very, very little. If you want more direction on how to actually get the kids and hubby to help in your family chore chart, again, there is that blog post on my site, AnnaDesalvo.com, and I will post the link. Also, if you are looking for an easy system and a low-cost system to get your meal planning under control, so you're not asking the question, what's for dinner every single night, and it's just automatic, and in fact, we saved a ton of money using this system. Then you can go to my bit.ly/busy mama meals, and that is my meal planning course. Again, affordable and just an easy way to get the family on board. So the goal of all of this is to make your tasks automatic so that they can be offloaded onto somebody else when you are ready to pay someone to do it. So I'm curious to hear from you. What is one thing that you're going to explore to outsource first? Let me know below. Have a good afternoon, and I hope you get lots of things outsourced.